Today we're going to be taking a look at installing this pretty awesome lift for my garage from FLEXIMOUNTS, the GL1 4-foot by 4-foot garage ceiling lift. Albeit the box being a bit dinged up in transit, everything inside of the box was in perfect condition and it comes in a way that's pretty easy to install. Donning the OSHA-proof flip-flops, we can start taking things out of the box, starting with the rails for the bottom grate, then install the template, which is definitely needed, and then the brackets and grate. The instructions recommend putting their paper tape in quite a few locations on the installation template to hold it in place. If you have drywall on your ceiling, this will work great. If you have open trusses like I do, or popcorn ceilings, this isn't going to work well. I'm going to let the dumpster fire of taping play out while we go over this video. Full disclosure, this video is sponsored by FLEXIMOUNTS. When I was looking for a garage storage system, I stumbled across them and reached out asking if they would be fine with me using their products in a video on my channel. I had fully intended to purchase the product myself, but they were kind enough to offer to send me the GL1 lift for free for the video, and I definitely appreciate that. They didn't give me any script or anything, so we're able to get my honest thoughts and opinions, which is always my preference. Now that we have the failure that is the taping up of the template done, let's go with what worked for me. If you have exposed trusses or popcorn, you'll likely want to staple it up as it'll actually stay when you do so. The main thing to pay attention to when you're putting this template up is to make sure that the open areas are centered on your trusses, as those are the truss indicators. If you can't see your trusses, it's obviously a little more difficult, but it is still doable with a good stud finder. Before we hang things up, let's take a look at our brackets. We have the rear winding arm brackets that are quite large, and then the pulley brackets for the front of the lift. When it comes to putting the brackets on, I definitely want to make sure they're centered so as to make sure that the lag bolts don't split the trusses. With the brackets centered, go ahead and mark the holes for where you'll be putting the lag bolts. Do the same for the pulley brackets as well. With the holes marked, it's time to grab the things we need for installing the bolts. The instructions call for a 0.2 inch drill bit, which is a 13/64 bit if you're wondering. It's a rather odd size, but that's what it calls for. You'll want to mark the bolt at 2.5 inches deep, which I've done with some blue painter's tape. This ensures that the bolt is able to fully sit inside of the hole that you drill and not split your trusses. With everything marked out and the tools ready to go ahead and pull down the template, as it'll get stuck if you put the brackets on with it still in place. With the template removed, go ahead and grab your drill and safety glasses and start drilling all the holes that you marked out, aiming for the center of each hole. Attaching the bracket is pretty simple. Just put a 1/2 inch socket on your impact driver, or wrench, and drive it in. Make sure not to over tighten it and strip the hole out, which a lot of people tend to do, it seems. The kit comes with a 1/2 inch socket that you can use to put the lag bolts in by hand, but it's going to take a while and a good bit of force. I also don't recommend using a drill to drive them, as it can really hurt your wrist if it has too much resistance driving the bolt. With the first bracket on, we'll just speed this up by, 10 times and get the other 3 driven in. It's now time to put the winding shaft in the bracket. I struggled a bit here as I didn't realize that my left bracket was ever so slightly bent, so it needed a little extra persuasion, but it went in just fine. With the shaft inserted, go ahead and extend it out so both ends are fully set into their respective brackets. Once the shaft is fully set into the brackets, go ahead and lock it in with the 2 locking screws that are supplied. Make sure to get both screws in before fully tightening them down, as the shaft may shift ever so slightly as you tighten it down. Repeat the process for the other side, and then it's time to lock the winding shaft from being able to slide by inserting the nut and bolt through the 2 holes in the shaft. You are likely to only have 1 hole visible initially. Go ahead and toss the bolt into that hole and lock it down. Then slide the shaft to the left, and you should see the other hole and put the locking bolt into that one as well. Next on the list is to run the cables to their respective locations. You'll have to remove them from their bags and carefully remove the zip ties holding them together. The longer wires obviously go through the pulley side, and the shorter ones just go straight down. When orienting the cables, make sure that the black coated cable stays on the outside of the lift assembly to ensure that the cables wind properly. Now, we need to go ahead and build a shelf assembly. When it comes to laying out the wire shelf, make sure that the support bars underneath go under the hinge sides for the top and bottom, otherwise it will just collapse. Before locking the grate down onto the support bars, make sure that both ends of the grate are equally distant from the last hole in the support bar. With that verified, go ahead and put the locking hooks in the 3 holes and lock them down. Then move to the other side and do the same thing. When it comes to attaching the shelf to the wires, it's much easier if you have a second set of hands to hold it up for you. Since I don't have that, my rolling lift table comes in clutch and works beautifully. Before tightening the wire holding bolt down, make sure that the black cable is on the outside, and then tighten the nuts down. The kit comes with 2 nuts per bolt. This is so you can use it as a jam nut. A jam nut is simply where 2 nuts are tightened against each other, which makes it to where the two will essentially never come apart. If you take the extra time to tighten them into each other, it creates an even stronger lock. I didn't do that in this case as I don't feel it will be necessary with the type of nuts they provided. With a close-up shot of the first one done, let's go ahead and get the other 3 done. And while that's going on, let's talk a little more about the GL1 lift. It's a very simple 4x4 lift that can hold up to 300 pounds. It makes for a wonderful way to store your garage mess out of the way. But a lift like this really is ideal for things that you only need periodically, such as for Christmas decorations where you can have them up and out of the way for the, 11 months of the year that you don't use them. The rod for raising and lowering the lift comes with a handle that we're going to put on for demonstration purposes only. It will never be used, I promise. The rod is used to lock and unlock the lift to ensure it can't somehow be raised or lowered without assistance, and then is used to twist the winding shaft to raise and lower the system. As you can see, it definitely works to do exactly what it's supposed to. But the drive gear is a 1-to-1 ratio, so it takes a bit of time to raise or lower if you're doing this by hand. Thankfully, FLEXIMOUNTS thought about this and added the ability to just attach the winding rod to a drill, which speeds it up exponentially. I highly recommend using a drill if you're going to use this thing. You'll be twisting it for days otherwise. Don't mind the fact that it went up all wonky there. When the lift has no weight on it, the winding cables tend to wind up a bit oddly, and it creates uneven tension. Not something that happens when the system actually has weight on it. For me, I'll be taking a bunch of car parts for my Solstice and some paint supplies and keeping them out of the way since I won't be using them very often. Let's get them tossed on the lift real quick. We won't speed this clip up here, so you can see it going up and down in real time, which is much quicker using the drill for sure. When loading up the lift though, you do need to make a conscious effort to make sure that the weight distribution is even, otherwise it will cause one side to go up more than the other. It's not a big deal, just something to be cognizant of. But that's all for today's video. As always, if you like the content I'm putting out, make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notification bell to stay up to date with all new content as it comes out. Again, thank you to FLEXIMOUNTS for sponsoring this video by supplying the lift. And if you'd like to pick up one of your own, it'd be awesome if you use my affiliate link in the description and pin comment down below to let them know that I sent you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Take care.